I want to say right away before we get started is that I am so excited to be able to Zoom night with Kourtni, because if you guys haven't met her, she is amazing. We'll start with that. But she is our ambassador upline. She is one of the big reasons that I am still with this business today after 4 years. She has had my back since the beginning. I've been in for 4 years, and she was one of the very first people that I ever had talked to about It Works. Her and my personal upline met with me the day before that I enrolled, and so she played a big part of me enrolling and then just making it through my 4 years so far. So I appreciate that, and I'm so for you guys to be able to learn from her, because it's a big deal. And I know she has some incredible tips with you, and I want to thank you again for taking time out of your crazy schedule to hop on this with our team and share some love and some tips and stuff. So I want to say thank you first for that.
I'm honored to be on. Thanks for having me. I'm so
excited. Okay,
you have a rock star team going, and I'm super excited to hear more about what you guys have in store for the future. It's a very exciting time.
It's crazy. So this year alone has been nuts. So I know that there are some new people on tonight, and so if you just wanted to just kind of like share a little bit of your story real quick, however you want to that for us, so that way we know more about who you are for the people that are new.
Absolutely. That's exciting to have to do. I love it. Well, thank you so much for the introduction, Kenz. You guys I'm so excited to be able to be on this Zoom tonight, and I always love rubbing elbows with Kenzie. She's such a phenomenal business partner to be working with. I love teaming up with her. I'm sure you guys have been soaking it all in, from her positivity to just her leadership alone. She inspires me every day. So thank you so much for having me on. I'm the one that feels honored. But for those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name's Kourtni King. I'm an ambassador diamond, and I've been with It Works it'll be 5 years in November, which is just crazy to think about. I say that every time I say 5 years, because I kind of feel like I can't remember life before It Works, but then again, I feel like I just started yesterday. So this journey has been absolutely amazing for me. It has changed every aspect of my life. When I was introduced to It Works, I was a college student at Michigan State. I had actually just started my first semester there. I was 22 years old, and I had been going to school for 4 years and really having a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I was still kind of in that position where, the school loans had been piling up. I was very independent, taking care of myself, but really the only way that the bills were getting paid was me working around the clock and trying to take school full time just so I could take out student loans. And it got to the point where I started to feel like I was suffocating just in the debt alone. I'm very passionate about talking about the debt-free lifestyle that It Works promotes for us and helps us be able to achieve. But at that time, I just thought that was completely impossible, really for anyone to live. I grew up in a different setting. My parents, they were in high school when they got pregnant with me. So I've had this example set my entire life of working really, really hard. But not only were my parents working really hard to be where they are today, my dad's actually, he's a doctor, and then my mom's really high up in the corporate world. So they've just worked their butts off, but they were always exchanging, time for money. So it's just opened my eyes to so many different things. And as far as what it's done for us, my husband and I, it's just crazy. I have such a hard time still talking about it because it's just surreal. My first big goal when I started was to be able to become debt-free. So we were able to do that within the first year of starting this business. So that's something that I really love to share. I think it's so important for people to understand that there's a different way of being able to survive, and you don't always have to have this crazy grind going on. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a couple questions at you, and then you guys, if we have time, if you want to put questions, if you guys think of something and we have time at the end to, answer a couple of them, you guys can put them in the chat. If you're on your phone, you can type it in or whatever from the bottom. But something that I wanted to ask you right away, because I know, I think I was just watching one of your live videos the other day and you kind of talked about this a little bit, but you were talking about what separates us, It Works, from all of the other network companies. Like, why you feel that we chose like the best one, why you chose, or why you think that we are just so much different, and how we're setting trends and things like that for this industry of network marketing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I love this. I think there's so much you guys can research to kind of build your own confidence on what we have our hands on. First of all, network marketing in general it's a phenomenal industry as long as it's done right. And unfortunately, there's a lot of companies that don't have what we have. I've honestly, I'm very open. I network with a lot of different people, even in people in different companies, and I've never ever have seen anyone that has anything that could even come close to what we have. So for those of you guys that aren't really sure about our history with It Works, our company started in 2001. Our CEO and his wife, along with a woman named Pam, were really the pioneers behind our company. Their story of putting in the work and the grind to make this what it is today is pretty phenomenal. Them alone, if you guys don't follow them on social media, I would definitely highly suggest you doing that. A lot of times with network marketing companies, they're a flash in the pan. So they will have a lot of excitement going on, and then in a year or so, they're gone. So it's pretty amazing that we get to be with It Works. Even though it started in 2001, we really are just truly getting started with our company. Our company has a 20-year plan for the future for us. They understand the trends in our industry, the excitement needed and they're always launching new bonuses, new promotions, new products for us to be able to stay completely ahead. So I'll share a little bit about, like, when I started 5 years ago, you guys, no one knew what detoxing was. No one really understood the health and wellness trends yet. It was kind of a joke when you would try and talk to people about it. And I flew out to Arizona within the first 6 months of getting started with the business just to promote it there, because the West Coast is always way ahead of us on health and wellness or anything really in general. We're pretty behind in Michigan. So, which is crazy now because that's all the hype. So we are always staying 2 steps ahead of just society in general, the new trends up and coming, and health and wellness is not going anywhere. So it's very exciting to be able to introduce products. Even when the cleanse came out, I still talk with people a lot, often, at expos and even just on social media, that they've heard of cleanses, but they've never even tried one yet. But now that's just such a common word. So it's crazy that not only do we get to introduce the body wrap, which is a first to market product that no one else will ever be able to duplicate. And it's something that everyone wants. But we also are having all of these other different products coming in. We at least release one a year, which is pretty phenomenal for us, business in general.
Yes, absolutely. I love corporate. You know what I mean? Like, our corporate team and stuff like that, they just always have our back, you guys. Like, everything that they do, they always have our best interests in mind, as well as independent distributors, not just the company as a whole. Like, they actually care. You know what I mean? They actually care. And like Kourtni said, they have a plan, not just for this 2017. Like, they have a plan for how they're going to run things 20 years from now. So they're thinking way, way ahead of the game, like farther than we're thinking. And so I absolutely love that. I think I'm definitely proud to be a part of the team that we're on, as far as just It Works in general. So
It's
thank
really
you for that.
somewhere where you can build a career around, which is, you can feel that stability here, which is amazing. And not to mention, you guys, if you don't understand our compensation plan, that's okay. It took me years and I'm still learning something new every day with it. But just know you have your hands on the most phenomenal compensation plan with true residual income. Most companies do not have residual income the way that we do, and we can do like another Zoom later on with in depth on that. But that's just something that I've really had my eyes open to recently. And compared to what top income earners make in other companies versus what ours do, alone is just, it's incredible.
Yeah. And there's like no cap. There's no cap up here. It just, you can keep growing no matter what. So that just tells you just a little bit about that. But yeah, if you could do a whole Zoom on residual income, probably.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me see which one I want to ask you. Okay, so as far as like, you know, I know that you've had to work on this and we've all had to work on this. I'm still working on it and I'm sure everybody else is too, no matter where they're at in the company or the business or whatever.
Mhm.
Setting, like stepping outside of your comfort zone and like growing your confidence and things like that, as far as how that helps build your business. Like, can you give us like some tips on like how you basically grew your confidence with working the business, and how you did that by stepping out of your comfort zone and things like that, like how important that was?
Absolutely. So when we get started, we have no idea what we're doing. And a lot of times we still don't have any idea what we're doing. And that's the exciting thing, is we truly are entrepreneurs and we get to make our businesses whatever we want them to be. So when I was first getting started, I tried to do whatever I could to surround myself with people that were successful. So by going to events and watching YouTube videos and trying to follow the leader, essentially, because I really had no idea what I was doing. So wrap parties terrified me. Speaking to people terrified me. Reaching out to people was terrifying. I have videos from when I was trying to go diamond and double, triple presidential and ambassador, of me having complete meltdowns, of being terrified to contact leads from expos, to reach out to people. That's just a normal fear that every person is going to face. We're all terrified of rejection. We're all so concerned about what people think of us. And the funny thing is, if we really knew what people thought, it's very little chances that they even think anything negative about you at all. The worst, truly, that people could ever say to you is no. And that once I figured that out, it was a game changer for me. So I'm the type of person that can overanalyze every situation, but I knew what I had my hands on. So I understood, if I followed the leader and did what top income earners were doing, or what people, you know, diamond and aboves were doing, then ultimately I'd be successful. But it was going to take a lot of courage on my part, or a lot of me turning off my mind and just doing what I knew I had to do. So just know that when you guys get started, the quicker that you can start getting outside of your comfort zone, the quicker you're going to succeed. And I truly believe that no one is successful without failing. So I've always been the type of person so terrified of failing that I would rather quit than fail and then try again. Because I was just like, if I'm not good enough, if I'm not making it right in the beginning, making anything work, from sports to going to college, anything, I just did not understand that you're never going to be phenomenal at something when you first get started. You're probably going to mess up a lot, and that's okay. That is what we all go through. And just be excited while you're trying to learn and try new things. There is no right or wrong way to do what we do. So you guys will have to get outside of your comfort zones and try and figure out what works best for you. I am a huge belly to belly person, but I was not confident at all with expos or one-on-ones when I first started, or wrap parties. I was absolutely terrified. I would cry on my way to networking events. Chaz would have to like kick me out the door while I had tears in my eyes, because I was so terrified to go to networking events by myself. Because, you know, when you're growing up and you're a girl, we don't even go to the bathroom by ourselves. Like, it's just, it was terrifying to me. So, you know, just kind of, Chaz always says to stop thinking and just act. And just know that your actions and your positive mindset of knowing that no matter what happens, something good's going to come from it. You're either going to learn from it, or it's going to grow your business. And that's just the most important thing. You know, I could go on and on about this because I'm like so passionate about it. You guys, I hate even speaking. I hate speaking in front of people. Like right now, I'm like holding a little stuffed animal. Like, how silly is that? But I try and be like really open with our team about how terrifying I am. That's why I would make those videos before promoting, just because I hope that by our example, when you guys see that we're just normal people, we're just as scared as you, we're just as terrified to get out of our comfort zones, but we did it anyways because we knew our whys. We knew why we were doing this. We knew what we had our hands on. And Kenz, I know that you can totally relate with this, that some days, you know, you could talk yourself totally out of doing what you know you have to do. But at the end of the day, if you just stop basing it on how you feel and just do it, you're going to be rewarded for it.
Absolutely. I was just talking to a couple of my other girls the other day, and I was just like, you may like be so uncomfortable to do it, to do something, whatever that something is, but once you do it, the result is like way bigger, and you're going to feel so much better than you would have felt if you pulled back and sat in your comfort zone and you were like, whew, I didn't have to do that. That feeling right there is less than what you're going to feel if you push through it and you get that big result. You're going to feel so much better. So like,
Absolutely.
it's for that millisecond or that little time that you like have to talk to yourself about just pushing through and doing it. That part sucks, but once you get over that and you land at your results, the feeling is so much greater. So I love that.
I don't remember any blitzes where people told me no or anything like that. The only blitzes I remember are the ones I was too scared to do it. And I think about those people all the time. I'm like, gosh, if I could have just gotten over myself, realized that they're just normal people, and the worst they can tell me is that they're not interested. Those are the only ones that I remember or that eat me alive. It's like I have to constantly wonder, what if I would have got over myself? What if I would have done this or that? So then I started getting sick of wondering that and just saying, I'd rather find out if this is what's going to change my life than having to wonder. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Yes. And your confidence, the more you do that, your confidence builds, and the less scared you get sometimes. I mean, I still get scared to talk to people. Still to this day I still get scared and chicken out. You know, I won't lie. I have chickened out still, you know. But
Absolutely.
the more you do it, your confidence builds and you'll do it less and less. You know what I mean? You'll chicken out less and less.
It's all about the practice.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect. But and that kind of brings me to my next question, because I know, especially like, well, this will be forever with our businesses, obviously, but when you're new, sometimes, you know, we're all super, super excited, and it sometimes in life and in general, but also when you're new, when you hear those like some no's, you know what I mean? When you're so excited and you hear those no's and you're just like, dang, like I keep getting these no's or whatever. We know now that we have to keep pushing through that, you know, and then we'll eventually get a yes and stuff like that. But Kourtni, I'm assuming, right, you still, what, 4.5, probably almost 5 years now, you're still getting no's from people, right?
People still ignore my messages. People still don't. I still post personal posts and get over 100 likes, and then product and business posts and get 2 likes. But they're always watching. Absolutely. Oops, sorry. I was just going to say, when I first started, the no's actually fed my fuel for my fire, and in a positive way, because I knew right from the beginning that the products worked. So no one could tell me that the wraps didn't work. They just didn't have, you know, the way that Denise Walsh says it, they didn't have a brain cell yet for it. They didn't understand what we have our hands on. So that means that I have a huge opportunity on my hands because I understand what it did for me. And every time you put a wrap on someone else, it's going to grow your confidence and help you understand what we have our hands on as well. But my biggest advice is to do a full treatment of wraps on yourself so you can understand that this product really works, and no one can tell you that it doesn't, because your confidence is going to grow in that aspect. And then research our company and industry a little bit to know that as well. But basically, either you're going to hear no and people doubting what we do because they don't understand, or you know, one day we're going to be a household name and everyone's going to understand. And it's going to be that what if question again. Like, what if I would have just sucked it up and embraced the no's? Because they say on average it takes 5 to 12 times of someone hearing about the opportunity or the products before they order or before they get started with you as a business partner. So that's just something crucial to keep in the back of your mind, because I know I had a really hard time with following up because I was so terrified of, coming off salesy or anything like that. But people truly appreciate you keeping in contact with them. And there's lots of different ways for following up. That could be a whole Zoom too. But
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, with that point, I mean, you'll get to the point, you guys, where I mean, you could have the same person tell you no, in which you'll hear this from like a million leaders, that no just kind of really means not right now. They're not just flat out saying no. Like, and honestly, I haven't had a whole lot of people be like, no, no, don't ask me that again. I honestly have never had a person say, no, don't ask me again. I've never had anybody tell me that. So, but like, you'll come to find out that no's are really not right now. And I have signed, you guys, in the past year, I've signed a lot of people that I have been talking to since my very first couple of months in the business. And I've had people say, thank you so much for not giving up on me. Like Crystal Carruthers, who's on here with us now, you guys, one of our top leaders. She was my customer for 8 months. Now, granted, she trusted me with the products and she became a customer, but it took 8 whole months before she decided, okay, I'm going to give this business a shot. And you guys, if I would have stopped asking her, the first 5 times maybe, because I asked her a whole lot of times, you guys, she'll tell you I asked her a whole lot. So, and she told me no a lot, and no, thank you, or like, nope, I can't, or nope, it's not for me, nope, and giving me like 50 million different excuses. But I always still followed up with her. And like, like Kourtni said, we could do a whole separate Zoom on follow-ups, but just to give you guys that perspective, that 8 months later, after several times hearing no from her, she still decided to join. And she's working at home full time now, box for freaking triple diamond, which is crazy. So like, you just, I mean, you just push through it. You know what I mean? And don't, like Kourtni said, like, don't take it personally, because we'll get people that don't answer your message, or will see it and don't respond, or maybe they just say that they're going to do something and then they don't, or whatever. Don't get hung up on that, because a lot of times, even those people that are ignoring you, a lot of times they're not even ignoring you on purpose. A lot of times they forgot that you messaged them. They forgot that they looked at it. Their kid opened their phone and then cleared the notification or whatever. Like, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me, like where I've not seen something because my kids cleared the notification. So, just don't take it personal. And that's it. Like, just don't take it personal, because you just can't. So, let's see, what is the next one I want to ask you? Okay, so we kind of talked about this a little bit when you were saying, like, one of the things is like you stay connected with your why and stuff like that. And so it didn't matter, what anybody said, because you wanted this for this reason. And you guys, we talk, if you're newer, we talk about your why a lot, and that is the reason why you joined, the reason why you decided to say, yes, let's do this, what you have in your mind about what you could do with this business, if and when say it, speak it like that, when you are successful with this business, when you're really making the amount of money, when you're gathering those friendships, or whatever it is, the reason that you joined this business, that being so strong that nothing else that anybody says or does matters. How many no's you get matters, how many whatever matters, because your why is like big enough and strong enough, and it means something to you. So one thing that I have always been taught to do, and Kourtni is like the main one who has taught me to do this so well from the very beginning, and that is just like dreaming and setting goals and having a clear vision of what I want from this business, what I want for it, for myself, or for the people that I'm going to be affecting their lives, or the people that are my family, just what's going to come of this, like where am I going? Okay, what am I accomplishing? What do I want to accomplish? What is life going to look like? How is life going to be different in positive ways? Like, how am I going to make these impacts, and why do I want them, and all of that stuff? And so Kourtni has always taught us to do that from the very beginning, and I think it's played a huge part for me. And so Kourtni, can you just kind of like tell them why that is so important, and maybe a little bit on how to do that?
Absolutely. I didn't realize that people don't dream. Like, I mean, you know, when we're younger, we have like this big vision for our future, and then real life sucks that out of us very quickly when we become adults. And it's very sad. So, the quicker that we can get outside of that box and start realizing, you guys, you can truly do whatever you want in this life. And it's just finding a vehicle to allow you to have an opportunity to pursue your dreams. And you have your hands on it right now. And you guys can go wherever you want with this business. It is a very simple business. I'm not saying it's always easy, because it's definitely going to, you know, getting outside of your comfort zone to complete those steps. But we have all the tools that we need. So really, it's just up to you to take advantage of that. And as far as dreaming goes, if you guys haven't done a dream board yet, I highly suggest that you do it. That was one of my favorite exercises I did when I first started. I got a huge cork board, and I started cutting out things from a magazine of what I wanted. So,
Can you everyone for me one more time?
It's Melissa. There we go. Okay. So, like, if you guys have a dream of, you know, purchasing a new home, that was something that just pushed me like no other. And I could picture the house, I could picture the porch, I could picture the basement, and visualizing those dreams that you guys have. You know, if you're very vague and basic, like, yeah, one day I would, you know, like to make some decent money, and that's it, then it's going to be pretty hard for you to be motivated by that. So when you guys can visualize, you know, that family trip to Disney World, and you can picture your kids getting to meet Mickey Mouse for the first time ever, and that family picture that's outside in front of the Mickey's castle, and your kids getting to watch the fireworks at night, and to get to experience Animal Kingdom and all of that. Like, when your dreams can be very specific, there is nothing that is going to hold you back from reaching them. And I just feel like the more detail you can do, like, even if you guys took, like, set 20 minutes on an alarm on your phone to just write down what you want, where you want your life to be in 5 years. That just sounds weird to most people in general, because they're like, I'm going to be exactly where I am. Like, I know exactly where I would be, and it's terrifying had I not found it works. And so we used to do note cards. Do you remember the little note cards, like 5x7s? And we would do those
Yes.
kind of like every training. And we would write down what rank we wanted to be at. So a lot of us wanted to be at Diamond. And then we would set a date for that. And that held us accountable. It was exciting. But not only did we write what rank we wanted to be at, the reason why we write the rank, because really, truly, rank doesn't mean anything other than that those dreams that are attached to that rank and that monthly income that's coming in. And the cool thing is that, you know, you can reach that as fast as you want to. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time than the date you set, but that's okay, as long as you know where you're going and have that vision set. I think that's just so important. That's a huge part of the why. One of the funnest things you can do is to get together, either if it's a sideline or if you guys do have team members already, getting together and just dreaming. Like, sit around and talk about where you're going to be in the next 10 years and how that's going to impact your family, how it's going to feel to be able to breathe with debt paid off. Like, that was the biggest thing for me. I was like, I could not imagine the 30 grand being paid off in debt that I owed between my car, student loans, credit cards and all that. But then I started like getting that big picture. I always say, you know, a lot of us have dreams or goals of going diamond and above. And I hear a lot of people saying that, you know, I want to go diamond. I want to go diamond. And the way that I know the people that are going to go diamond and above is because they can feel it. They can picture it. They tell me what it's going to do when they go diamond. They can visualize, like, they get tears in their eyes because they know that it's going to happen for them. And some of us take years to have that confidence of knowing. And some of us, you know, are at executive or Ruby for a while, and that's where our goals are, and that's great. An extra $500 can do a lot for a lot of people. That was a game changer for me. I hope that helped a little bit. This is a little bit of a rampage and dreaming.
That was good. That was good. And it's, I mean, the my goodness, the more detailed that you can get, the better. Like Monica, for instance, you're talking about like you know, being able to get your hearing aids, like just the thought or just sitting there and picturing and envisioning the fact of you like be like and saying like what like seeing your kids' faces and you know certain events, or like the feeling of guilt being gone, like not having that heavy guilt feeling on you because of XYZ, you know what I mean? Like that feeling and picturing like that sensory stuff, that sensory, like seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, that emotional attachment that you have to those things, like that's what's really going to, like Kourtni said, that's really going to motivate you. It's really going to inspire you to keep pushing no matter what. That, you know, I mean, that's why we go to work every day, right? Because we know if we don't, like this, you know, this won't happen, and we know that we'll like lose our house. And what does that mean? It means this and this, you know. So use it in the opposite way. Like I want to keep pushing because I want those good feelings. I want those, that goal, right? And I know, Kourtni, one of the reasons why you signed up to be a distributor is because, you know, you kind of caught the vision. I mean, you caught the vision a little bit earlier than some people do in like a year, even, because you went to an event, you went to a 1 Team 1 Mission and seen like, holy crap, like this is a business and this is incredible what we can do with it. And so I guess I want to kind of touch on a little bit like what staying plugged into things and getting to an event can do for you and your business. So like even like this Zoom, and then like you going to the 1 Team.
I am so passionate about 1 Teams. Like, I just think they are the best things that you can go to fill your bucket up. And it is the best thing you can get someone to for them to understand what It Works is about. The energy in the room is so contagious. The stories are so inspiring. You will connect with someone that shares their story at 1 Team. I remember a girl was a double diamond under Joel and Stephanie Dunn, and she was the only younger one in the room when I first started. And she lit a fire under me. I don't even remember exactly her story, but it was just, I could relate to her just as the age that we were at. And I was like, I want to be her. Like, I want to be standing up there one day on stage and sharing my story. And that is something that no one can take away from you. So my first introduction to It Works was a 1 Team. I thought I was going to Grand Rapids to buy a wrap. I had no idea that it was a business opportunity. I didn't even know that there were other products. And the second I got into that room, I had never felt positivity or excitement the way that I felt. Like, I felt alive for the first time in a long time. And I was super excited to just dive in. I think every time that I went to the 1 Team after that, so it was a Grand Rapids 1 Team, and my goal was to come every single month and to bring a new person with me every single month. And sometimes that happened, sometimes it didn't. But I can remember after a few months, there was rows of people there, from just the excitement of not only was I bringing someone, but then our team was bringing someone. And then there were times where I was the only one showing up, where I would reach out to see if people were coming, and no one was. And that was, again, getting outside of my comfort zone of, oh my gosh, I'm going to drive to an event by myself and not sure if anyone's going to be there that I know. But every time, you guys, it was a game changer for my business. And when I would drive to trainings, sometimes I would drive to trainings where Sidelines were doing trainings a few hours away. Within the first month of getting started, there was a training about 4 hours away up in the UP, or not UP, but in northern Michigan. And it was the dead of winter. And I was so excited just to get around successful people. And that's what these events allow you to do. You get to learn from the top and get to hear stories. And no matter how you're feeling, if you had a bad day, I promise you'll feel better after you leave those events. And if you're having a great day, we always say that others need that from you. So if you're having, if you have a great day and you're happy and excited, then we all need that energy there. So just events are a game changer. They truly help you fill your bucket up and oops, sorry, keep your excitement and your fire and your passion lit. You know, at One Teams, you guys are going to hear the party pad, and you're going to hear it the same style every time, unless we're switching up the party pad, which I'm very excited about our new party pad. But you'll learn something new every single time you go. It's absolutely crazy. And especially when, you know, Cammie Dempsey is there and Pam, and you get to learn from the Black Diamonds and the ambassadors. It's just, we're so lucky that we get to take advantage of those opportunities. I'm sure, I don't know if all of you guys are in Michigan, but especially in Michigan, where we get to learn from really the pioneers behind our company.
Yes, absolutely. I love that you said that you will never leave a One Team and like not be in a good mood. You'll never leave disappointed. That's 110% true, because, and it is filling your cup, because it's kind of like in life in general, when you think about it, like, okay, here's my mom life example. So like when you've had like a rough day, I'm talking, you can't hear the word mom another time because you're going to rip your hair out. You cannot clean up another mess. If someone spills something else, you're going to lose you're losing. So at the end of the day, when the kids are in bed and you need to go like have that bowl of ice cream, right, or that chocolate, for goodness sakes, that you've been hiding for 3 days that you haven't been able to have because you haven't had a second alone. Okay, so when you do that just for that one hot second and you feel better, like that's kind of that's kind of what One Team does. Like that's, it's, you know, filling your bucket. It's giving you your second to you know, because you can only pour out so much. You know, you have to pour into yourself too. So, and that's kind of what One Team does, and other events and Zooms like this, YouTube videos, you guys, the corporate calls, our team calls that we do, any kind of training that you can get to, anything that you can pour into yourself will also trickle down into your business. And so I absolutely love getting to as many things as I possibly can. And then just like plugging in. If you guys like say, I know there's some people like in, you know, other states where you're really not local to us, but staying plugged in, like just, I love the fact that we can do Zoom like this. You know, it still brings us together. It keeps you connected. It keeps you learning. And yes, we get to learn, like you guys, like she said, we go through the same thing every single time of One Team, and it has the same outline, the same layout, you know, like that, but it's different speakers, you guys. There may be that one girl from that other city who happened to be at this One Team One Mission, and she was up on stage and she told her story for the, you know, 60 seconds that she got on stage to do it, and you related to her so much that you got this incredible aha moment, and all of a sudden something clicked in you to where you had that confidence and that aha moment to be like, I can do this, or oh my gosh, you thought of someone else that you know that like, oh my gosh, she really needs to do this now, like whatever that is, like you can take something away from every single thing like that. And even when you hear other people doing the same like presentation, someone else says it a little bit different than the last person that you heard do it. And so maybe you like the way that that person said it, so you're like, oh, I like the way that she put that, I'm gonna start saying it that way now. And so you make little tweaks to what you're doing too, and you know, maybe that saying it that way made you feel more comfortable or more confident on saying it that way, the way that that person said it. So I love listening to different people, you know, talk about the same thing or different things or whatever. You guys get my point. So yeah, I always share that too of you, Kourtni, when you're like, oh, at the One Team and I caught the vision there. And so that's just so important, you guys, to just have a vision on what you're doing in the goal setting and stuff like that. I still do the note cards that Kourtni's talking about. I still do that for myself. Like every month I write down my goals on a note card, a fresh one for every month. So I keep that tradition alive for
I
sure.
love it. I still write on my mirror with dry erase marker, and it's so crazy that every time there's been a goal written up there, it does not come down until it happens, and you look at it every day. So put those note cards where you're going to see it every day. I used to keep them right on my dashboard in the car, so I was in the car every day. But one of my favorite, I was going to just say really quick, one of my favorite ways to be able to plug in call-wise is Pam Souter's Show Me the Money Call Monday nights, because those success stories, oh my gosh, they're amazing. And we connect with stories. And you guys will hear someone's story that will completely change your business because it will inspire you that much. And Pam's just amazing. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that reminder too that like this is really happening for people. This is really happening for people and people that are just like me. So why not me? Why not me?
exactly.
And the call that Kourtni's talking about, the Show Me the Money call, that you can invite potentials onto that call, you guys. You can invite people that, you know, are thinking about the business onto that call. And so they can hear from other people on top of hearing from you and hearing their success stories to be like, okay, you know, you really weren't, you know, just like blowing smoke. This really is real stuff, you know? And so sometimes people need to hear that from other people also, just for that little thing to click for them to join you as well. So that's a good thing to have other people plugged into as well. Okay, so one, if you had to pick, okay, I know there's like a million different things that we can do, but we all know that consistency and action are the main ingredients to two of the main ingredients to what and how we are successful in this business and in anything. So if you had to pick just 3 things to do for your business on a daily basis, what would those things be?
The first thing is getting your mind right. So even if you guys only have 10 minutes a day, I had never heard of self-development before. I had never heard of podcasts or anything like that, but it was a game changer for me. And anytime that my mind isn't right or I'm not being as positive as I normally am, I'm like, oh, I haven't read in a while, or I haven't listened to a podcast, or I haven't taken, that 10 minutes of me time to listen to, gosh, one of my favorite things to do is listen to YouTube videos from top income earners, and like Alyssa Bilyeu and Tiffany Hare and or her hair, however you want to say her. Lots of different people are willing to share their knowledge and pour into us, and a lot of times they're just sharing their team calls and things, and gosh, you guys, those will put a big fire under you. So that's one. And second would definitely being consistent with keeping your business open. So we always say if your mouth is closed, your business is closed. So if you're not sharing what we have on a daily basis, you don't have your doors open on a daily basis. So can you imagine if you went to your favorite store and you had something in mind of what you needed to purchase, and that day just randomly it was closed? I mean, every day your stores are going to be open. Those businesses are going to be open. Those people are going to be there. So that's either being consistent and posting on social media, or being consistent with sharing what we have by, blitzing. The word blitzing still terrifies me. So I like to think of it differently, just as having your business open by sharing with others what we do. I think the B word scares everyone. And then the third one would be consistently following up. So consistently following up with your loyal customers, your current loyal customers. I think a lot of times we think once people start ordering as a customer, our job is done, and it's really just getting started. So trying to figure out a consistent way for you to be able to continue to connect with your customers, because your customers will order for life as long as you're taking care of them and helping them find the product that fits for them. We truly have something for everyone. And it might not always be the first thing that they order and get started with, but they're trusting you to get started with them. So I can't imagine that if I ordered something from someone and I was having to order every month and I never heard from that person again. I would think that would be crazy. So don't be afraid to follow up with your loyal customers. Don't be afraid if they have questions. We don't always know all of the answers to everything, but we have resources to help us. So if they do ask you something that you're not sure of, just let them know that you'll get back to them. You'll figure out the answer. And, following up with leads and things, obviously that's normally what we think of with following up, but following up with your new distributor is connecting with them. This is a relationship business. So the more relationships and the stronger relationships are, the more relationships that you create, the more successful you're going to be. So it's not always just talking about the business. It's about building friendships, and you're representing your business all the time. So the following up is crucial. Following up with potentials. My favorite way of following up with potentials is not always just bringing up it works. It's building that relationship, that friendship, and getting to know people. I think that's been one of the secrets to success for me, is just really truly caring about others. And the business I'm always consistently on Facebook, and they know what I'm doing, so that almost intrigues them more. It's attraction marketing in a way. That's a good word to Google.
And that's a whole nother Zoom on too, is
yes.
There's so much
yes.
stuff in a good way, though, in a good way. Like, just the resources that we have are incredible. But yeah, those are all like amazing things to do every single day. And I think they are three of the most important. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I just kind of thought of this analogy the other day when I was like, when I was talking about like gathering your first 4 loyal customers, like, don't stop there, keep going. And like, if you think about it, like a pizza place, they have their grand opening and they're so excited, and maybe they're running like a special or something, and then they open, and then they have all these people come in and they get whatever the special is, and everybody goes to this pizza place for the first time. They don't like be like, whoa, that was awesome, that was a nice grand opening, all right, we're shutting our doors now, we're closed. Like,
that's so true.
They keep going. They keep making pizzas every day because people want pizza every day. It sometimes is the same people, and sometimes it's new people. But I love that too, though, because people will drive across town to another restaurant where it's the same restaurant, but it's run by somebody else because of their customer service, because of how they are. Maybe, I mean, it could be something like they have a drive-through or whatever, but like, it could be because they're not rude. It's because they actually aren't like, how many times have you guys went through a fast food drive-through and you can just hear the attitude in somebody's voice? You can hear that they just want to take your order and get you the hell out of there. Like, like, they just do not care what you really want to order. They're just like, okay, next. Like, is that all? Like, they're hurrying up and rushing you through your order. And it's irritating, right? But if you have you have that one person through the drive-thru, and they're like, how are you today? And, oh, okay, would you like this with it? Okay, all right, is that all for you today? Like, and they're nice and they're patient and they are respectful and things like that. So it's kind of like how Kourtni was talking about, like, taking care of your loyal customers. And it is, obviously, you don't have a relationship through somebody through a drive-thru, but like, it is a relationship business, both customer and distributor, as you bring both of those people into your organization. So yeah, that was my random thought.
I love that.
Right. Insert
so
that.
True.
But yeah, so this was awesome, Kourtni. Thank you so much for being on. I don't even know what time it is.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So let me check the chat here to see if there was any question or anything. I don't think there was. No. Okay. All right. So, well, is there anything else that you would like to add, or anything that you might want to just make sure we all know, or anything?
I am so excited for the second half of 2017. I think they started off with a huge bang for us the end of June by offering that $9.99. We had never seen something like that before. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like that again, but they always bring it to a whole nother level. So they're always topping what they did before. So we never thought that they could top good bonuses. And then we never thought that they could top double good bonuses. And now we're probably thinking that they're never going to top the $9.99 business builder kits, but they are always setting us up for success. So work hard, take advantage of what you guys have already done. You guys have set yourselves up for phenomenal promotions. If you're just getting started, you guys are starting at the right time, at the right place, with the right company, the right team. And we are so excited to be able to lock arms with you and help you achieve your goals and what you have set out for accomplishing with this business. So as long as you're willing to work hard and always be willing to learn and try new things, like we talked about the comfort zone thing, get as far away of your comfort zone as you possibly can. And I promise you, where you're going to be in the next 6 months is going to be completely different. You'll be a completely different person too. It's just amazing what can happen, not just financially with this business, but physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. It's unbelievable what this company has, not only done for me, but what I've seen it do for countless others. And the exciting thing is, after the 6 months of wherever you guys finish strong for 2017, then we're going into a really big year going into 2018. So the excitement never ever stops. And my biggest advice is to have fun along the way. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and enjoy the journey. It's exciting to get to your big goals and things like that, but the most exciting part is the work along the way and the fun you have along the way and the people you get to do it with along the way. So thank you so much for having me on tonight, Kenz.
Yes, that was a mic drop right there. So so thank you. You're welcome, but thank you for being on. And I know that we all appreciate it, and it really means a lot to have everybody
Yes.
have this kind of little like VIP time with you. So that was awesome. I appreciate it. So
I
thank you all.
loved it anytime.
Thank you guys all for hopping on, and then we'll post the recording so we can share with our the rest of our team that wasn't able to hop on with us tonight. But have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.